Hey, what's going on, everyone? So, I wanted to do a quick video to take a deeper look at this get out of jail free card that Jussie Smollett has seemed to have gotten. Now, everybody knows about the Jussie Smollett situation. Everybody knows that, he had the potential of going to jail, but he didn't go. And some people are crying bloody murder. Some people are saying that it's fair. I wanted to do a video that takes a quick look at the circumstances and the statutes which led to him getting out of avoiding jail. I'm sorry, I was about to say getting out of jail, but avoiding jail or thus having a get out of jail free card. So, let's take a look at that. And I actually found the statute that basically classifies his crime, and I also found some information about the program which he received. So let's go ahead and take a look at that and get into the details of, his get out of jail free card. So I found the statute that basically classifies class 4 felonies. If I'm correct, Jesse Smollett's crime, the false police report, would have been considered a class 4 felony, right? And so I found this statute, 730 ILCS, Illinois Compiled Statute 5, Chapter 5, 5-4.5-45, right? So if I'm correct, this would have been how they would have classified the false police report by Jesse Smollett, and it talks about the possible sentencing for the false police report. It goes on to say the sentence of imprisonment shall be a determinate sentence of not less than 1 year and not more than 3 years. So it looks like he could have possibly gotten up to 3 years. But as we read on, it says the sentence of imprisonment for an extended term class 4 felony. I guess there's levels to class 4 felonies, if you will, as provided in this section, well, in section 58-2 of 730 Illinois Compiled Statutes 5-8-2, shall be a term not less than 3 years and not more than 6 years. So it looks like there's different levels to this thing. So in the first level, you can get up to 3 years. And then in the second level, you can get up to 6 years, right? I'm not sure what level a false police report falls under, in this situation, but there was some possible jail time for Mrs. Smollett if they would have classified it as a class 4 felony, and if this is the classification of a class 4 felony, then it looks like he could have potentially got some time, right? So then it goes on to talk about periodic sentences, and then it talks about a impact incarceration. Impact incarceration, I actually did look it up, and it appears that's boot camp. And then it goes on to talk about probation and conditional discharge, right? There's talks of restitution in this statute, and then there's concurrent or consecutive sentencing, credit for home detention like house arrest, sentence credit, and electronic monitoring and home detention, parole, mandatory, and supervised release. So, okay, so this is the statute. This statute would have potentially governed the sentence that Smollett would have possibly served. And I actually also did some more digging, and I looked into the diversion program, and actually this hit here, and it basically goes on to give a brief explanation of what the diversion program is. Let me go ahead and read it to you. It goes on to say the diversion program are alternative prosecution programs that are available to many first time offenders who have committed nonviolent crimes or misdemeanors and are being prosecuted in Cook County. These programs are designed to help first time offenders avoid criminal convictions and jail time by participating and completing diversion programming. Through participating in the program, those first time offenders who otherwise would have become convicted criminals are given the opportunity to receive treatment and to contribute to their communities. Additionally, upon successful completion of the diversion program, the criminal defendant's charges will be dropped. So I don't have all the details in front of me, but essentially what happened with Jesse Smollett he actually forfeited the $10,000 that he put up for bond. So basically, that's the fine. And then basically he's alleged to have done community service for I think about two days. So that's the community service, right? So then also this thing talks about the eligibility for diversion programs, and basically says the assistant state's attorney identify criminal cases where the defendant may be a good candidate for the diversion program. So it looks like the state's attorney gets it to pick and choose who they're going to, offer this program to. Now, I think part of the uproar is that basically there's a lot of people who didn't get this opportunity, and because Jussie Smollett has influence and money, he automatically got this opportunity with no questions asked. At least that's what some people are alleging. Uh, these defendants are not notified and offered an opportunity to participate in the program. I'm sorry, these defendants are notified and offered an opportunity to participate in the program. If the defendant is interested in participating in the diversion program, then the assistant state's attorney will determine if the remaining eligibility criteria can be satisfied. There are certain eligibility requirements for Cook County diversion program. These requirements include the criminal defendant must be an adult charged in Cook County. The criminal defendant must be first time offender, meaning that he or she cannot have any previous felony or misdemeanor convictions for crime involving violence. The charges pending against the criminal defendant must be nonviolent, felony, or misdemeanor. Eligible criminal charges include retail theft, fraud. Okay, as you know, fraud is actually what they were potentially going to charge Smollett with, right? Filing a false police report, which is fraud, credit card fraud, and ID fraud, forgery, counterfeiting, disorderly conduct, and drug possession, right? So and then there's some crimes that don't qualify automatically, which are DUIs, weapon offenses, and domestic violence charges, right? So it looks like if you've never committed a crime before, and I don't advise that you do this, but if you want to basically know what it's like to commit a crime and go through that criminal, get a taste of the criminal lifestyle, you get one free get out of jail free card. Now, I don't recommend that you do this because you might not be as lucky as Jussie Smollett, to get the diversion program. But basically, it looks like if you want to try, the crime life for the first time, you get one get out of jail free card. You can commit retail theft, fraud, credit card fraud, ID fraud, forgery, counterfeiting, disorderly conduct, burglary, and drug possession. Again, I'm just really just joking. I don't recommend that you go out and commit any crimes because, like as I said, more than likely, the state's attorney is going to be able to pick and choose who they want to give the diversion program for. So you could possibly go out and do one of these things, and then you can be stuck with a criminal record. But that's it. So basically, to me, it looks like Jussie Smollett got a get out of jail free card, which looks like that there's a chance that anyone can get this get out of jail free card if you don't have a criminal background and if this is your first time and it's a nonviolent offense. Now, I think the uproar and the things that people are complaining about is that basically because of money and influence, he was able to get this get out of jail free card right away. But the reality of the situation is that I think that everyone should be offered this. Um, to me, it looks like the state's attorney does pick and choose who gets this card, but I think that essentially this get out of jail free card was created. I read some other articles, which I'm not going to pull up, that this program is created to unclog the court systems because you get a lot of, these cases that come into the court system. And when people start fighting these cases, it basically just clogs up the system. So they created this program. To me, it looks like to alleviate some of the case clog in the court system and to basically let people off with a warning, right? You pay the fee, you do the community service, and you get off with a warning. So it looks like it's a win-win because it's going to deter people from doing stuff like this again, and it also keeps the court system from having to deal with a lot of these petty offenses. So this is it for this video. I'm going to go ahead and end it right here. It's gone on entirely too long.